I came in from Old Town. Then Old Town had started changing over where it became violent, all violence everywhere. So I started going through the papers, calling up people about apartments. And one man I called and he said, I don't think you want to live in this neighborhood. And I said, why not? He said, because it's all Spanish over here. I said, okay, but then what do you think I am? He said, white. I said, no, I'm not.
I came because it was war in Bosnia. Serbia, they came to occupy Bosnia because they wanted all the Serbia to be Orthodox. I was for 2.5 years hiding actually. Some of them know that, and there's bring the what do you call body bag for the bodies, you know that bag, and put it in my door, and they said on a letter, if you don't leave in I don't know about 10 days, you're gonna be in that bag. That's what they.
My great-grandmother is Potawatomi. We were like kicked out in 1833, and it was called the Trail of Death. My grandmother, she came here in about the 1940s. I can't be too sure, but I know it was prior to the Native American Relocation Act. She heard there was more jobs and work in Chicago, so she moved into Chicago. Basically, my grandma ended up coming back, like my family came back like 100 years later.
They took me even to a firing squad to shoot me, my wife and me and my sister-in-law. And thank God somebody came who knows me very well from before, and he was still in charge of the police. He said, Bidu, is that you? I said, of course it's me. He said, you go back to police station and I take case over. So I had some friends, really good friends, Serbs. It's always, good and bad people in every country. My future is here, and I'm really happy actually to be here with the voice of the people.
Grandma said somebody told her there were some natives, in a certain part of town. And so during that time, a lot of natives were residing in Uptown. She said a lot of natives would come off of the train from the reservations. There would be other natives waiting down there by the train to kind of just like help them, guide them, tell them where they can get food, where they could like possibly get shelter,
So the next person I called, he had a German accent. I spoke to him in a German accent. He said, you can come tomorrow and see it. Fine. How much is the rent? $125, 6 beautiful rooms. And so I knocked on the door. His wife came to the door and I said, I came to see your husband. He said, you have an apartment for rent. She said, oh, no, it's rented already. And by that time, he stepped out. I said, 10:30, you're going to be here at 10:30, and I'm here. He said, oh, okay. So that's how I got it. He didn't want to go back on his word. Because I'm staring in his eye, he couldn't say, I made a mistake.